look, there's a commonality that I don't think a lot of people may have noticed between uh, superhero films and TV shows and horror TV shows and movies. Like, there's a common cognitive dissonance that all the human characters have of like, this is like some random thing that does not happen often in their worlds. Like, take for instance, like even in Defenders, there's parts where like the cops are like, "Oh, that, oh, I'm a cop, I can handle this, and you got to move out the way, stop being a vigilante." But it's the same world where an Iron Man suit flies around and just fought aliens in your city. Why are you acting like you can handle everything that's coming at your way? The same thing happens in horror movies. Take for instance, like all these like Friday the 13th and all these movies where like things have. I'm not taking like horror movies that were like this is like the first time something happens, but like those movies that are like sequels, like Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street, and all these horror movies where things have happened. Yet still, sometimes the characters act like this is some new phenomenon that can't be possible. Oh, we're gonna just go out here. Can't be nothing out here killing us. What? What? Y'all just, it happened like the last movie. What are y'all talking about? Why are y'all acting like this? Like, is ego that big a thing to people? I don't know. If I was in them situations, let me be a cop. And some superheroes like, we need to step back. It's dangerous in there. You got it, man. You got it, bro. I'm not bulletproof. Go in there, handle your business. That's what you're supposed to do. I'll clean up, fill out the paperwork afterwards. You got it, bro. I'm not gonna be the cop who's like, oh, I got it. I can do it. You're a vigilante. What is this attitude that these they always give cops in like these movies and like other human beings? Like, no, I'll be like this. You got it. This is stupid. That's just what I want to start it with. I can go ahead and roll the intro. Roll the intro, please. Welcome to Netflix Review with your host, B-Shack, a.k.a. Damn. And today, I'm discussing The Defenders, if you can't already tell by that long-winded intro, which is available now on Netflix and came out the 19th of August, I believe. Just this previous Saturday. I finally got a chance to sit down and watch the TV show, the 8-episodic TV show with the running time. I don't know how long the running time of a whole season is, but I know each episode is around an hour, give or take, 57 minutes or so. I'll put it probably around 8 hours completely, I think. But it's 8 episodes, about an hour each, and I was able to finish it finally, and I want to come on and discuss it with you guys. So, here we go. So, minus my first statement of the intro, where I discuss the cognitive the cognitive dissonance that all the cops and humans have in horror movies and comic book movies and TV shows. I believe that Defenders was a very great show. It's hard to say that could you be into it if you aren't into superhero shows. It's hard to say. I think that if you aren't a superhero fan, the Defenders are a lot easier to digest because they aren't over the top superheroes first. Iron Man, for all case and purposes, is over the top. He has an iron suit, he flies around. If you're not into superheroes, that may be a lot too much for you. Whereas Luke Cage is just bulletproof. Daredevil's a lawyer that's blind and can do like ninja stuff. Jessica Jones has super strength. And Iron Fist has an iron fist. It's not like they're all karate and Iron Fist. It's not like they're all over the top. Like they're not outfits and theatrics with each of them. It's just basically regular humans with one superpower. Like they don't have like a super connection like Captain America or the Hulk. They're not turning into things. So in a way, they're easy to digest. But I don't think that unless you give it a chance to actually grow and actually get involved in the story. I do will say this, Marvel does a great job of still giving you information of the character for those who may just stumble on the show and watch. They don't leave you in the dark like sometimes a lot of shows may assume that you've watched previous things. Marvel does that with pretty much every character. It kind of intertwines the story so it has to discuss previous things so you're kind of abreast of what's happening up to this point. So, I mean, for those people who didn't watch Iron Fist or didn't watch Jessica Jones or didn't watch Luke Cage or didn't watch Daredevil, you're kind of told why they're all in this position right now. You understand what Luke Cage just got into jail. why his character's coming back to Harlem. You understand Jessica Jones' personality of being a drunk and what she's dealing with, somewhat Iron Fist, where he's from, the Kun Lao. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Daredevil, who he is. It's not just throwing you into there and saying, "Hey, these are the characters. There's the story. Boom." It doesn't go to deep. It doesn't go deep, and like I don't feel like it does it a deep thing where it's boring to the people who already know, but it still gives the people who are maybe new to the show an ability to learn a little bit of the background of the character. But it's hard to say. Like, I know if you're into comic book stories, if you've seen 80% or 100% of Marvel movies and the shows, you'll love it. I think you'll love it. I think it's better than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think, like, on the grand scheme of the Netflix shows, which is Jessica Jones, Daredevil, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage, I feel like, for me personally, I feel like this falls right beneath Luke Cage for me. Luke Cage was like fantastic. There were so many moments of this where I realized how much I enjoyed Luke Cage, especially when the hip hop soundtrack comes into influence. That last fight, episode 8, the last final fight where Protect Your Neck comes in. Yo, I was spazzing like that. I think that's what made Luke Cage so great to me. This hip hop influence that was in there, and there's certain parts of this, the Defenders, where you can, like, there's hip hop where it maybe not like you. I don't think there was a lot of hip hop influence in Daredevil or Iron Fist or Jessica Jones, but there was some instances of the Defenders where there were. So I did enjoy that, and made me just recollect to how much I enjoyed the Luke Cage storyline. I will say that the enjoyment of watching Sigourney Weaver in a comic book movie or a comic book show was enjoyable. I enjoyed her playing this role. I don't think it was necessary for them to get an actress of her gravitas, but I believe she did great in playing this villain role. She was very what you wanted out the character to seem very shady. You could also get to see, like, her fear of what she was afraid of in the same, like, I think she did a great job in her role too. Like I said, I think this is a very enjoyable, and like I said, my opinion, I will put Luke Cage, then put the Defenders, then put Daredevil. Jessica Jones and Iron Fist are kind of like even to me in that third tier, but I'm interested in seeing where the series goes. I'm interested in seeing. I know that Punisher's next thing coming up to bat. I will say the best episodes for me were episode 3, where you got to see, like, that's the first of them coming together as the Defenders without the title, but them all fighting together at once. That was dope to see. And then everything gets spicy about 6, 7, and 8, which you could probably guess them out, because that's how stories work. Kind of give you here, then climax up, then climax, then. Also enjoy how, like, Marvel has a great way of tipping its hat to comic book readers with certain nods to the ending. Will be if you're abreast of Daredevil, the ending of the actual Defenders, that little tip of hat that I think Marvel is one of the best when it comes to, I think way better than DC when it comes to, like, tipping their hat to comic book readers of this is coming up, or hey, you know this part, look at this name, you know it's about to come. Like, just like at the end of pretty much every ending of any Marvel, when after the credits roll, is a tip of a hat, or there's little tiny things within the movie that they might say a name that you're like, oh no, he about to bring him next. And, like, Marvel does that great, and I think that DC hasn't really got that mastered yet. I don't want to turn this into a Marvel versus DC thing, but I just want to tip. I did love that ending. I love those little kind of tip of hats to comic book readers that may pick up, like, oh, that. But yes, I think it was a great series. If you're into comic book movies, if you're into comic book storylines, if you're into any of the previous Marvel Netflix, I think you enjoy this extremely. It was great to watch this, like, bootleg version of the Avengers, which it wasn't like a bad, like, if this was like a bootleg version of the Avengers, it was like that good version where you like this, you can't even tell the difference. It was like butter and margarine. I mean, you know it's not the same, but it was still enjoyable for me. It wasn't like, I mean, you're not getting like the full blasters and everything like that, but it was still good. So what are your thoughts? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Do you disagree with me? What do you think could have been better about the series itself? Are you excited for the Punisher? Feel free to drop a comment down below. If you like this, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Comment, like, share, all the stuff YouTubers say. I don't know. If you want to see more of this mug, feel free to subscribe. That's down there too. I think you can always follow me on any of my social media. That's DAMNlookatHIM across the board. DAMNlookatHIM Twitter. DAMNlookatHIM IG, the gram, and DAMNlookatHIM Snapchat. I don't know. DAMNlookatHIM Snapchat, and Facebook is DAMNlookatHIM TV. As always, be kind to one another and be easy. Peace. Happy Netflixing. I will say this. I noticed that sometimes Luke Cage can be affected by punches, and other times he can't. Like even in like his story and in Defenders, like sometimes he'll get punched and like he'll be affected by it, and other times he'll get punched and like he'll do nothing to him. Like I wish they would just keep it consistent. Like sometimes I'm like watching, like, okay, I get if you're getting punched by Iron Fist, you're supposed to step back. But if you're fighting like a group of ninjas without superpowers, why was that? Like there's parts where like he's getting like punched and he's like falling back, and I'm like this. If I was to punch a house, that house wouldn't move. So I'm confused on what's affecting him. Like he's still, for all cases and purposes, he's bulletproof. I get if you're getting pushed, but if you're getting punched, that shouldn't affect you at all. Like I don't know. I might be overthinking it, but no, I don't think I am.